Well, well, well. Have you ever felt unseen, ignored, underappreciated? Really, yeah. Like you gave your all and they spat on it? Oh, wow, it burns, right? But nah, this isn't just pain, it's a revelation, a power they never realized you held. You were the one holding chaos together, while they laughed, while they mocked, while they acted like you were nothing. And now the tables have turned. Now the weight of your absence is hitting them hard. They feel it. Yeah, they feel it in every move they make, in every empty space you once filled. And here's the truth, the raw truth. You're not just anyone. You are a force, a blessing they mistreated, a storm they can't control, a power they can't touch. And this video is your moment, your tribute, your rise. So stay locked, stay focused, because every word here will hit like a punch in the gut. Every line is for you, for your patience, for your strength, for every time you were disrespected, underappreciated, and overlooked. Comment below, yeah, right now. I want to hear your story, your battles, your moments they never understood. Give yourself the tribute you deserve. Because watching this video isn't just entertainment. It's your declaration, your awakening, your acknowledgement that you are untouchable, unstoppable, undeniable. So buckle up, open your mind, and let's dive deep into this journey of power, of truth, of reckoning. Because what they lost, they'll never get back. And what you are is beyond their reach. They never saw you coming. They never recognized the fire in your hands, the storm simmering quietly beneath your calm. They looked right through you. Oh wow, as if your presence was invisible, a shadow they could ignore at their convenience. They laughed at your patience. They mocked your discipline. They treated your quiet strength like a joke. And the worst part, you let them. You carried burdens they would never dare touch. You held corners of chaos together with nothing but sheer will. And yet they treated it like it was yours to offer without consequence. Yeah, it hurt, didn't it? Every time they dismissed your efforts, every time your loyalty was scoffed at, a part of you recoiled, but you kept standing. You kept giving. You believed in the power of consistency, in the quiet authority of integrity. They didn't see it. They couldn't see it. And that made their ignorance a weapon they wielded carelessly against the very person who protected them from their own fragility. And nah, it wasn't just neglect. It was active dismissal. They turned your light into a lamp they could burn out at will, and each flicker you offered was met with indifference. Oh, the cruelty of underestimation. The audacity to think that because you were silent, you were weak. But silence is not weakness. Silence is strength. Strength they will never comprehend until it is gone. They will feel it. Yes, they will feel it. And it will crush them quietly, painfully, relentlessly. You see, here is the brutal truth. Those who cannot value a blessing will always suffer in its absence. They will scramble. They will wonder. They will search for what they never understood. And while they stumble in the darkness they created, you rise. Not with malice, not with vengeance, but with the relentless force of someone who refused to be defined by the carelessness of others. Every step you take away from them is a testament, a declaration that strength is never borrowed, never owed, and never given freely to those too blind to honor it. Every room you leave behind becomes a monument to what they squandered. Every word unspoken becomes a warning, and every glance they cast into your absence is a mirror of their regret. The irony is delicious. You were a gift they mishandled. You were patience they tried to break. You were order in their chaos. And now the weight of your absence is coming for them like a tide they cannot swim against. And here is the razor's edge of it. You were never theirs to contain, never theirs to diminish. Every dismissal, every slight, every insult was never about your weakness. It was about their inability to see the value they took for granted. And soon, very soon, that realization will hit. They will feel the void you leave behind. They will understand too late the gravity of what they lost when they mistreated a blessing. Absence is louder than any shout, sharper than any blade, and heavier than any burden they thought they carried. Oh, wow. Can you feel it already? The void you left is not empty, it is a force. Every moment they search for you, every glance they throw into the empty spaces reminds them of the mistake they cannot erase. They took for granted what was never theirs to command, and now the gravity of your absence drags them into reckoning. They will notice it first in small ways. The laughter that feels thinner, the comfort that cracks at the edges, the confidence that falters when they realize the foundation they leaned on was always built by you. Yeah, they will feel it in their bones. Every habit you quietly carried, every patience they abused, every strength they dismissed, now vanishes like smoke, leaving only the weight of realization pressing down on their shoulders. They are unprepared. They were unprepared. And oh, how unpreparedness has a way of exposing weakness. Do not mistake their scrambling for learning. They do not yet comprehend the magnitude of what they lost. They may ask questions, but questions do not fix absence. They may remember your words, your discipline, your presence, but memories are shadows, and shadows cannot rebuild what has been abandoned. Your absence is not revenge, it is revelation, and revelation is a teacher that spares no one. Everywhere they turn, they see echoes of what they failed to protect. A chair where you sat now feels hollow. A project you led now falters without your direction. Every corner of their world subtly screams your name, a quiet but unrelenting reminder. They were careless, they were blind, they were weak, and the more they reach, the more they stumble. The weight of absence does not just teach, it haunts. And here is the cruel brilliance of it. You do not need to return to correct them. You do not need to explain, to plead, or to justify. Their discomfort, their panic, their frantic search, they are all consequences of their own choices. Oh yes, consequences can be patient, and in time, they will learn that strength cannot be borrowed, cannot be demanded, and certainly cannot be controlled by those who fail to respect it. They never understood you. And now, wow, the truth hits them like a mirror shattered across their faces. Every reflection of failure they avoided, every blind spot they nurtured, comes screaming back at them with clarity too sharp to ignore. They see themselves, not you, because you were never the problem. You were the measure they failed to match, the standard they never dared respect, the presence they squandered. Yes, it is brutal. The rooms you once filled with your focus and discipline now echo emptiness. The projects you nurtured, the patience you extended, the quiet guidance you offered, gone. And suddenly, every corner they took for granted becomes a testament to what they cannot replace. They reach for it, trying to plug the gaps with excuses, with imitation, with frantic scrambling. But oh no, nothing sticks. The void is absolute, relentless. Nah, they don't realize yet that absence is not punishment. It is revelation. It exposes their weakness. It illuminates their dependence. And the harder they try to recover, the clearer it becomes. Their world was built on someone else's backbone, and now that backbone is gone. You were never theirs to control, never theirs to bend to whim, never theirs to diminish. And oh, how exquisitely the weight of that truth presses down on them. Every memory of your effort becomes a lens of failure for them. Every skill you mastered, every patience you demonstrated, every choice you made with integrity, these were not just your gifts. They were mirrors reflecting their inability to honor what they had. And here is the cruel inevitability. Mirrors cannot lie. They cannot soften the edges. They only reveal. And revelation is unstoppable. Oh wow, the irony is delicious. They believed comfort was endless, that loyalty could be bent and stretched, that your presence was theirs to exploit. And now, as they stumble through the vacuum of your absence, they realize the truth. They were not prepared for the cost of taking a blessing for granted. They cannot hide behind arrogance. They cannot flee from consequence. The mirror shows them exactly what they are, and it is terrifying. Strength is silent. Strength is invisible until it moves, and when it moves, oh wow, it consumes everything that doubted it. Those who mistreated you are frozen in the shadows of their own ignorance, watching as you step into the light they refuse to honor. Every stride you take is a revelation, every choice a hammer striking the foundations of their misplaced arrogance. Yeah, this is the intoxicating part. They can watch, they can whisper, they can even tremble in fear, but they cannot reach you. You do not need to strike. You do not need to shout. Your presence alone, your growth, your unyielding dedication to mastery is the force that topples their illusions. And oh, how sweet it is to realize, absence was never empty. It was preparation. Preparation for the moment they realized the brilliance they ignored, the discipline they dismissed, the patience they mocked. Nah, do not mistake this rise for vengeance. Vengeance is loud, clumsy, fleeting. What you embody is permanence. Every skill sharpened, every decision executed, every boundary held with unwavering certainty. These are the marks of someone who knows their own value, someone who refuses to be bent by neglect, someone who transforms absence into power. And as they falter, as their scrambling intensifies, they begin to see the truth. The one they mistreated is unstoppable. Every glance they throw is a reflection of their fear. Every attempt to reclaim what they lost only emphasizes their weakness. Oh, wow. The clarity of it is exhilarating. They wanted to control you, to bend you, to claim what they never earned. And now, the tables have turned. You are not just gone. You are rising, a force of focus, discipline, and unwavering resolve that cannot be contained by those who failed to respect it. And here lies the brilliance of your journey. You do not need their acknowledgement to validate your power. Their regret, their panic, their envy. It is inevitable. They are forced to reckon with the truth they ignored. Absence is not emptiness. Absence is transformation. And in this transformation, you are untouchable. You are undeniable. You are beyond their shadows. Some truths cannot be spoken. Some lessons cannot be taught. Some forces cannot be contained. Oh wow, and now they see it. You were the fire they tried to smother, the storm they thought they could ignore, the presence they assumed was theirs to exploit. And now they are left with the unbearable weight of your absence, and it crushes them in silence. Yeah, they never anticipated this. They never imagined that patience could be stronger than their arrogance, that discipline could outlast their neglect, that integrity could endure every slight, every dismissal, every attempt to break you and rise above it all. Oh, the irony is exquisite. Every room that once echoed with your effort now feels hollow. Every project you guided falters, and every word they threw in jest rebounds against them like a mirror reflecting their own failure. They wanted control, they wanted power, they wanted obedience. Nah, they got none of it. You do not need to bend to their regret. You do not need to soften for their confusion. You are the proof of what they ignored. You are the embodiment of every principle they laughed at, every patience they underestimated, every strength they tried to dismiss. And as they scrambled to fill the void you left, they realized that absence is not emptiness. It is a declaration that they are weaker without you than they ever imagined, and that their world is a reflection of what they refuse to honor. Oh wow, can they see it now? Every glance they cast, every frantic thought, every whispered regret, it cannot recreate what they lost. You are untouchable, you are unshakable, you are beyond their reach, and every step you take forward is a reminder that their failure was always theirs, never yours. They will remember your name, your discipline, your unwavering presence, and they will remember it with a pang they cannot erase. And here's the most ruthless truth. Your triumph does not depend on their recognition. Their panic, their envy, their helpless scrambling, it is the shadow of the strength they mistreated. You do not need to witness their despair to know the impact of your absence. Every day you thrive, every boundary you hold, every mastery you sharpen. These are the monuments to the blessing they discarded, the gift they squandered, the force they failed to respect. Yes. Yeah, the lesson is brutal, but beautiful. They will never reclaim what they lost. They will never understand the patience, the discipline, the resilience that you carried quietly. And that is your power. That is your triumph. That is the final reckoning. You were a blessing they mistreated, and now they are left to reckon with the weight of what they can never have again. So here we are, at the edge, the point where they finally feel it, the weight of your absence, the power you carried quietly, the force they mistreated. Oh wow, it's real, isn't it? Remember this, every step you take forward, every boundary you hold, every skill you sharpen is a monument to your strength, to your patience, to your unwavering spirit. They can feel it. Yeah, they feel it. And yet nothing can touch you now. Nothing. And here's the truth, the final truth. This video is more than words. It's a reminder for you, yes, you watching, that you are untouchable, unstoppable, undeniable. Give yourself that tribute. Give yourself that respect, because no one else will. If you don't first, comment below. Tell me your story, your rise, your power. Let the world know that you were never theirs to break, never theirs to diminish, and never theirs to ignore. And hey, smash that like, share this with someone who's been overlooked, and honor your own journey with pride. So go ahead, walk forward with confidence, hold your head high, because they feel the weight of what they lost. And you feel the freedom, the triumph, the unstoppable force that you were always meant to be. Aha. You think they see you, really? Nah, they don't even come close. Do you feel that? That weight, that stare? Yeah, it's heavy. But here's the wild truth. They're scared. Scared of what you really are. Every glance they throw your way. Every whisper behind your back. Yeah, it's all fuel. They don't see your smile. They don't see your calm. They see power, patience, dominance, the kind that makes them shake, like seriously shake. And oh wow, when you realize this, you'll never look at anyone's judgment the same way again. Stay locked, stay focused, because by the end of this speech, your mind will shift, your vision will sharpen, your presence will feel untouchable. And hey, don't just watch, drop a comment. Tell me what they see when they look at you. I want to hear your story. You, yes, you are the reason this message exists. Every second you spend watching, every thought you share, it matters, it counts, it shapes energy in this space. So, if you're ready to see the truth behind the eyes of the world, if you're ready to embrace the force inside you, buckle up. This is what they really see when they look at you. And trust me, you're about to witness it all. They think they see you, but they are terrified of the truth. Look at yourself. Really deeply look. Not the face you show to the world, not the mask you've stitched over every flaw, every insecurity. Look at the quiet strength that hums beneath your ribs, the silent fire that nobody dares to name. Oh, it's there, hidden in plain sight. They think they understand you. They glance and nod, whisper and point, smile at your presence as if they know the measure of your mind. Yeah, nah. They see fragments, pieces, shadows. They do not see you. Every step you've taken alone. Every moment you've endured in silence, while the world laughed, doubted, or betrayed. It is there, in the line of your jaw, in the calm in your eyes. They see composure, but they fear what lies beneath it. They cannot grasp the patience, the deliberate choices, the hours of preparation, the invisible grind, the battles you fought inside when nobody watched. You've built a fortress with your own hands, stone by stone, trial by trial, and yet they call it arrogance. They call it indifference. Fools. They fail to understand the power of unseen work. Oh wow. Watch them squirm when you act, when you speak, when you move like water, silent, unstoppable, yet deliberate. They think it's coincidence, luck, timing. But no, it's control, calculated, unyielding, and that is what terrifies them. Every glance, every judgment, every whispered opinion is a confession. I cannot touch you. I do not understand you. I fear you. Think about it. Every time they underestimate you, they are feeding you. Every doubt, every disbelief, every attempt to belittle your worth, they hand you the tools to rise. It's absurdly simple. Build yourself quietly. Stand tall. Let the world guess. Let them try to measure a mind and a heart they cannot comprehend. They see your actions and react. They see your calm and panic. They see your resolve and envy, and yet they cannot see the whole. because what they see is only the surface, the exterior. A calm smile, a patient demeanor, a quiet gaze. But beneath it lies a storm they cannot predict. A mind sharpened by discipline, a spirit hardened by trials, a focus so absolute it bends circumstance itself. They see a human, they fear a force. Yeah. Listen closely. That reflection in their eyes is more than admiration or fear. It's recognition. Recognition of something they cannot reach. Recognition that while they have settled, compromised, hesitated, you have chosen the path of truth and strength, even when it was lonely, even when it was painful, even when nobody understood. They see discipline, they see courage, they see potential, and yes, they fear it. And here's the cruelest twist. The reflection you see in their eyes is only half the truth. The part they recognize is their own inadequacy. The part they cannot see is your mind, your will, your inner fortress. That part is untouchable. And that is your weapon. They fear the reflection because it is theirs too. Oh, have you noticed? Every glance they cast your way carries a tremor of something deeper than curiosity. It's fear, yeah, real raw fear. Not for themselves, not even for you, but for the truth they glimpse when they look at you. Every calm step, every unshaken gaze, every word chosen with precision, it reflects a reality they've denied for themselves. They see what you've built, and they shiver, because in that reflection lies the possibility they abandoned. They see your discipline disguised as solitude. The hours spent sharpening your mind, forging your resolve, cultivating strength that cannot be borrowed, stolen, or faked. They see the courage it takes to stand unbending while the world tests you at every turn, and they hate it. Oh yes, they hate it, because it exposes their compromises, their hesitations, their fear of stepping into discomfort. They try to rationalize it. They whisper, they scoff. Nah, they do not understand that patience is a weapon and silence is an advantage. Look closer. They see the order in your chaos, the calculated calm behind every storm you've endured. They see someone who chooses long-term triumph over short-term comfort, and they panic. Oh, how they panic when they realize it is not luck. It is mastery. They are spectators to a force they cannot touch, a mind they cannot bend, a spirit they cannot corrupt, and yet they continue to watch, searching for cracks, for weakness. They search and fail. Every insult thrown, every doubt cast, every underestimation, they offer you fuel, fuel to rise, to sharpen, to surpass. They see your actions and misinterpret your intent. They assume patience is passivity, discipline is rigidity, focus is obsession. Fools. They cannot perceive the architecture of your mind, the depth of your planning, the precision of your strategy. They see only shadows of your power, and that, my friend, is your advantage. Yeah. Listen, the reflection they fear most is not your strength. It is the truth of your integrity, the refusal to bend, to compromise, to settle for less than what you are capable of. They see your potential, and they fear the measure of their own mediocrity. They cannot confront the fact that someone can exist in this world untouchable, untamed, unbroken, and that fear feeds your ascendancy. Oh wow. When they watch, they see the mirror they cannot face. And in that mirror, you are untouchable. You are unstoppable. You are everything they cannot even imagine becoming. The walls are not for them. They are for you. Oh, you think they understand your calm? Nah, they do not see the architecture of your mind. Every layer of patience, every shadow of restraint, every silent calculation is a brick in the fortress they cannot enter. They see composure. They see confidence. But what they cannot grasp is why you remain untouched by the chaos they carry, the noise they project, the storms they create. Yeah, it's not luck. It's intentional. Every barrier you've built, every line you've drawn is a declaration. I am untouchable. I am unbroken. Think about it. Every silence they mistake for hesitation is actually strategy. Every calm breath, every measured glance, every deliberate pause, they misinterpret it as weakness. Oh wow. The irony is delicious. They cannot see that patience is not passive, it is power concentrated. That restraint is not fear, it is control perfected. That stillness is not emptiness, it is the depth of a mind that knows the world bends only when it must, and when it must, it bends with precision. Your fortress is invisible, yet they sense it. Every glance toward you carries uncertainty. Every whisper is a confession. I cannot breach this. I cannot understand this. They see the calm exterior, but they cannot perceive the inner engines, the discipline, the focus, the resolve, the unwavering commitment to rise above mediocrity. They see a human. You are untouchable. Yeah, and here is the truth they cannot face. The fortress is not designed to keep them out. It is designed to keep you whole. Every boundary protects your mind, your energy, your clarity. Every wall you raise is a statement. I will not bend to the shallow judgments of the impatient or the fearful. I will not sacrifice my vision for their approval. They fear it because it is a mirror of a life they cannot achieve, a life anchored in purpose, discipline, and inner strength. Oh, and the beauty of it? Every attempt they make to decipher, manipulate, or challenge you only reinforces your power. Every misunderstanding, every misinterpretation, every failed attempt to provoke a crack, they feed your ascendancy. You move like water through the labyrinth of their expectations, untouchable and unseen, unshaken and deliberate. They react, you act, they crumble, you rise. And this is the ultimate truth. The fortress within is not built for confrontation. It is built for transcendence, for mastery of the self, for the patience to endure, the clarity to see, and the power to rise above every doubt, every distraction, every shallow eye that dares to measure you. The eyes of many are on you, and none of them know what to see. Oh wow, look around. Every pair of eyes that lands on you is a storm of questions, doubt, envy, fear. They watch, they whisper, they speculate, they measure, but they fail to comprehend. Yeah? Nah, it's impossible for them to grasp the magnitude of what they see. They see your rise, your calm, your unwavering presence, and they panic. Not because you are visible, but because they cannot penetrate the layers of precision, patience, and power that make you untouchable. Every glance is a test. Every judgment, a mirror of their own failures. Every sneer, every attempt to provoke a crack, it ricochets off walls they cannot see. Walls you've built with careful discipline and unshakable focus. They assume they understand you. Oh, they are so wrong. They cannot perceive the strategy behind your silence, the purpose behind your patience, the discipline hidden in every breath. They react to shadows, they guess at truths, and every reaction feeds you. Every misjudgment reinforces the fortress they cannot breach. Yeah, watch closely. They hope for weakness. They want to crack. They want to see the human behind the calm, the falter behind the confidence. And yet, every step you take, every decision you make is deliberate, calculated, unbreakable. You move through their world like a force unseen, like a current beneath the surface of chaos. They react, you act, they tremble, you rise. The gaze of the world is heavy, yes, but it is powerless against someone who has mastered themselves. Oh, listen to this. The most dangerous moment is not when they notice you. The most dangerous moment is when they fail to understand you. When they try to read your mind, predict your moves, anticipate your rise, and realize they cannot. Their confusion is your advantage. Their envy is your fuel. Their fear is the whisper that reminds you of your uniqueness, your focus, your inner strength. They see a person. They feel a force. And here is the truth they cannot face. They cannot see your essence. They cannot touch the fortress within. They cannot understand the depth of your patience, the clarity of your vision, the precision of your strategy. They watch, they measure, they react, and all they accomplish is feeding the unstoppable momentum you have already built. They fear your actions. They fear your calm. They fear the inevitability of your ascent. Yeah, and now it becomes obvious. The world's gaze is heavy, but you are heavier. Their eyes are sharp, but your resolve is sharper. They cannot predict you. They cannot bend you. They cannot breach the fortress of your mind, the clarity of your purpose, the intensity of your discipline. They fear your essence, the part that cannot be touched. Oh, here it comes. The moment they have been dreading. They do not fear your strength. They do not fear your focus. They do not fear the battles you have fought or the victories you have claimed. No, none of that terrifies them. What they truly fear is you being yourself. The quiet, unshakable core of your being that bends for nothing, compromises for no one, and rises in ways they cannot imagine. Yeah, it is relentless. It is untouchable. And it is terrifying to anyone who has spent a lifetime settling for less. They see composure. They see confidence. They see someone standing in the storm without flinching. Oh, wow. They marvel. And they panic. Because every measured step you take, every decision carved from clarity and discipline, exposes the mirror of their own limitations. Every time they try to provoke a flaw, a crack, a weakness, they fail. And in that failure, you grow. In their envy, you sharpen. In their doubt, you rise. The reflection they fear most is not your victories. It is the truth of your integrity. That quiet refusal to bend to mediocrity, that fierce dedication to purpose, that unbreakable alignment of thought, word, and action. They see someone who is not swayed by opinion, who is not distracted by gossip, who is not shaken by chaos. And that is a power they cannot comprehend. That is a life they cannot claim. That is you. Yeah. Every glance they cast, every whispered speculation, every judgment passed in shadows, they are not seeing you. They are seeing what they cannot become. They fear your patience, your clarity, your discipline, your resolve. They fear the way you move through the world untouchable, like a storm beneath calm waters, precise, deliberate, inevitable. They see a human, they feel a force, oh wow, and it terrifies them. Look closely. They measure your actions, but they cannot measure your intent. They react to your presence, but they cannot grasp your strategy. They try to predict your next move, but they fail. And every failure of theirs strengthens the invisible architecture of your life. Every misjudgment, every attempt to challenge you, every shallow attempt to provoke a crack, they all reinforce your untouchability. You are beyond their calculations, beyond their expectations, beyond their fear. Nah. Here is the ultimate revelation. They do not see what you are. They see what they are afraid to become. The quiet strength that endures, the clarity that cuts through confusion, the patience that outlasts chaos, the discipline that shapes destiny. They see all of this and panic because it is a reflection of the potential they denied themselves. And that reflection, that mirror, will haunt them long after you have moved beyond their gaze. Oh, and this is why it is beautiful. The more they try, the more they fail. The more they judge, the more they fuel your rise. The more they envy, the sharper your focus. You are untouchable. Unseen in your strategy, unstoppable in your purpose, untamed in your resolve. And when they look at you next time, they will see the truth they can never face. Yo, yeah. That's it. You just felt it, didn't you? The truth. Raw, unfiltered, unstoppable. Every glance, every judgment, every whisper, they see you rising, even if they don't admit it. Oh, wow. It's powerful, right? That energy, that presence, that force inside you that nobody can touch. Remember this. They don't see your weakness. They don't see your fear. They see what they cannot become. And you, yeah, you are proof of strength, focus, and purpose. So keep moving, keep rising, and keep showing the world what untouchable really looks like. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment. Tell me what they see when they look at you. Share your story, your fire, your journey. Because this space, this message, it's for all of you who refuse to settle. You're the reason this speech exists, the reason it hits so hard, and the reason the world trembles silently. So stand tall, stay sharp, and never forget, the eyes on you are always watching, and every single one of them is witnessing your unstoppable rise. Hey legends, you ever had that feeling deep down like all your silent goodness was just floating out there, unnoticed? Like, come on, you've been patient, kind, helpful, and still invisible. Oh yeah, I know that feeling. The world's loud, cruel, and unfair sometimes, huh? But guess what? What if I told you your kindness didn't vanish, it multiplied? What if those quiet moments, those times you chose peace instead of pride, were secretly building your rise? Nah, this ain't one of those fairy tale speeches. This is that dark truth type energy. The real talk most people are too afraid to say out loud. You think your kindness went unnoticed? You think no one saw your heart when you gave without expecting? Oh, someone did. Someone powerful. Someone watching when you thought no one cared. And yeah, this ain't just motivation. This is prophecy in motion. Your patience has been collecting interest. Your decency's about to cash in. And your calm, it's turning into a storm. They always underestimate the quiet ones, the kind ones, the ones who don't clap back, who don't roar when they're mocked, who simply walk away with that calm, unsettling silence. You see, kindness is a strange sort of weapon. It doesn't cut the skin, it slices the ego. It doesn't shout, it haunts. And oh wow, the world never knows what to do with that kind of strength. Because it's not a weakness, it's restraint. It's the power to destroy, yet choosing to build. But no one claps for that. Not yet. You ever notice how people mistake softness for surrender? They think if you don't hit back, you're harmless. Nah. The truth? You're just patient. You've learned something they can't even spell. Timing. You've learned that silence can hold more chaos than 1,000 arguments. You've learned that a smile, given at the right moment, can break an enemy faster than a shout. And deep down, somewhere inside that storm you call calmness, you know it, your kindness has been your disguise all along. They laughed, didn't they? When you helped them, even when they didn't deserve it? They mocked your patience? They poked at your peace? Too nice, they said. Too forgiving? Oh, if only they knew what it cost you to stay gentle in a world sharpening its teeth. Every act of kindness came with a bruise. Every good deed left a scar no one saw. But you did it anyway, because something inside you refused to rot. You didn't know it then, but your kindness was being watched. Not by the world, by someone silent, hidden, someone who had more power in one decision than those who mocked you could ever dream of having. They were falling, not from fame, but from humanity. Everyone around them wanted something. Money, attention, approval. But you gave without expecting. You helped without calculating. You spoke with care, not currency. And that struck something deep in them. Something they forgot they even had. Oh yeah, that day when you stopped to help. When you stayed a little longer to listen. When you gave what you didn't have to spare. You didn't just show kindness. You sparked redemption. You unknowingly saved someone who had everything, yet felt empty. The billionaire who had it all, except peace. And in your small act, in your quiet gesture, they saw what all their wealth couldn't buy. Decency. It rattled them. It changed them. It made them see the world differently. You think kindness doesn't pay off? Think again. The universe keeps receipts. Every time you chose peace over pettiness, every time you stayed kind when cruelty was easier, every time you held your ground with grace, something was keeping score. Not luck, not chance, just the natural consequence of goodness meeting its moment. They say nothing you do goes unnoticed, but most people laugh that off until the tide turns. Until the smallest act they once ignored returns like a wave, unstoppable, undeniable, rewriting everything in its path. That's the irony of life. The moments that look meaningless often become the ones that matter most. And oh wow, yours was one of them. You had no idea that your quiet gesture had already started moving pieces far beyond your sight. That billionaire, the one you unknowingly saved, didn't forget. Nah, not even close. They carried that moment with them like a whisper in their chest, haunting, echoing, because in a world where everything had a price, you reminded them that not everything should. Your kindness cracked through their armor. It planted a seed in a place that hadn't seen light in years. And while you went back to your life, just trying to do good, trying to stay decent in a crooked system, that seed began to grow in silence. You see, they started to notice things. How everyone smiled at them but meant nothing. How everyone agreed but never cared. They looked around at their towers, their jets, their luxury, and realized it all felt hollow. But that one moment, that one act of yours, it was real. It wasn't about what they owned, it was about who they had become. And that realization hit like lightning. So they began watching you, not with eyes of suspicion, but with respect. They studied how you moved, how you worked, how you treated people, even when no one was watching. And little by little, they saw something the world had missed: authenticity. You didn't chase applause. You didn't crave validation. You just lived by principle. Oh yeah, that shook them, because in all their success they had lost that very thing, principle. And now, they're ready to repay what can't be repaid, ready to balance the unseen equation that your kindness wrote. They've made decisions, quiet but powerful ones. Calls are being made, doors are opening that you didn't even know existed. People you've never met are suddenly speaking your name in rooms you never imagined being mentioned in. All because one act of decency reached the right heart at the right time. That's the strange thing about kindness. It doesn't just travel forward. It circles back. It moves through people, through moments, until one day it finds its way home, multiplied. Power doesn't always roar when it rises. Sometimes it hums quietly right under the surface. That's where you are now, standing in that eerie calm before everything changes. You don't even know what's coming, not really. You just feel it, that strange pulse in the air, that pull in your chest that whispers something's moving. And oh wow, it is. The world around you is starting to bend toward your kindness, to orbit the gravity of what you once gave freely. That's the part no one warns you about, when your patience starts cashing in its rewards. For so long, you thought you were invisible. You did right by people who turned away. You helped those who later forgot your name. You stayed true when it would have been easier to turn cold. Nah, you didn't fake it. You didn't play nice for the show. You just lived straight. No games, no poison, no mask. And life, as quiet as it seemed, was taking notes. Every time you walked away from pettiness, every time you chose calm over chaos, you were writing the foundation of what's happening right now. Because what's pure always survives, and eventually it rises. The billionaire, that soul you unknowingly touched, they're not just repaying you with money. No, that'd be too small for the weight of what you gave. They're repaying you with opportunity, the kind that shifts the air around your name. They've seen the fake ones, the greedy ones, the ones who'll trade integrity for $1. But you stood apart. And in that difference, they saw a chance, not just to give back, but to rebuild something meaningful with you as the foundation. That's not luck, that's justice. Oh yeah. Life has this strange way of testing you before it trusts you. It gives you struggle, not to break you, but to measure how you move through the storm. And now, all those nights of wondering why me are about to answer themselves. Because the why was never punishment, it was preparation. You were being molded quietly while everyone else rushed blindly. You were being shaped into something unshakable, one act of kindness at a time. But here's the twist. This moment won't just lift you. It'll expose everyone who underestimated you. Those who laughed at your calm will panic when they see where that calm took you. Those who took advantage of your heart will choke when they realize it's your integrity that opened the doors they can't even find. That's the price of arrogance. It forgets that humility watches silently and wins eventually. Oh, the irony. The same world that once called you too kind will now label you strategic. The same people who ignored you will now call it destiny. They'll dress it in fancy words because they can't admit they were wrong. But you'll know. Deep down, you'll know it wasn't magic, luck, or timing. It was simply cause and effect. Truth doing what truth always does, coming back stronger. Funny thing about people, they remember you differently when you win. One day, you're the quiet one, the ignored one, the one whose kindness looked like weakness. Then suddenly, when your peace starts to pay off, when your patience turns into position, everyone rewrites the story. Oh wow, they'll swear they always saw your potential. They'll act like they supported you when you were invisible. Nah, they didn't. They just didn't expect your silence to echo louder than their noise. See, when life flips the script, truth gets loud. Every fake smile, every empty compliment, every shallow connection, it all reveals itself. You'll notice how the same mouths that doubted you now speak in admiration, but it won't move you anymore. Because you'll remember how cold it felt when you stood alone, choosing to stay decent while the world told you decency doesn't pay. You'll remember the moments when your kindness made you the outsider, the fool, the one who didn't know how the game works. Oh, but you did. You just refused to play it dirty. That billionaire who once watched your act of compassion in silence, they didn't just see kindness, they saw character. And that's the one currency the world can't manipulate. They saw the difference between being nice for attention and being kind because it's who you are. That realization hit them harder than any business failure. It made them question what they'd built, who they'd trusted, and what they truly valued. And now, they've chosen you, not out of pity, not out of debt, but out of recognition. They saw in you something rare, integrity with power. Oh yeah, now your name's being mentioned in rooms filled with sharp minds and cold hands. They'll study you. They'll wonder how you did it without stepping on others. They'll call it strategy, discipline, maybe even luck. Let them guess. The truth's too quiet for their understanding. You didn't rise because you fought dirty. You rose because you stayed clean when everyone else stained themselves for a shortcut. That's what they'll never grasp. Purity isn't fragile, it's unbreakable when tested. So when your rewards start arriving, the doors, the offers, the influence, stay steady. Don't gloat, don't flex. Just walk through those doors with the same composure you had when no one noticed you. Because your elevation isn't revenge, it's proof. Proof that kindness backed by strength is the most dangerous power there is. Some call it fate, others call it luck. But you You know better. Nothing about this was random. Every quiet decision, every act of restraint, every moment you chose integrity over ego, it built something unseen. It built you. Oh wow. Most people only chase outcomes, but you became the outcome itself. You didn't chase power. You became powerful through patience. You didn't chase wealth. You attracted it through worth. That's the real trick. Life hides behind the noise. The ones who serve with sincerity always end up standing where pretenders fall. Now look around. The silence you once carried like a burden has turned into presence. The same people who mocked your humility now lower their tone in your space. You didn't have to shout. You didn't have to prove. You simply became undeniable. That's the beauty of walking the straight path. The rewards may arrive late, but when they do, they don't knock, they break the door down. Nah, this isn't payback, it's confirmation. Remember those long nights you wondered if it was worth it? If kindness still mattered in a world built on manipulation? It did. It always did. Because kindness isn't weakness. It's a test. It measures who you are when no one is watching. And you passed that test when others quit halfway. You stayed firm when bitterness tried to twist you. You stayed grounded when arrogance tried to lift you too soon. You didn't let the darkness change your design. You mastered the art of calm in a world addicted to noise. And now your quiet discipline has opened a path that noise could never find. The billionaire you once unknowingly helped. They've stepped into your life again, not to rescue you, but to join you. They want your insight, your integrity, your vision, because they finally understand character outlives currency. And that's your real wealth. Oh yeah, you've reached that point where your moral compass is your greatest asset, and the world finally sees it for what it's worth. But let's not lie. The journey changed you. It carved out your edges, burned away your illusions, stripped you down to essence. You learned the hard way that kindness without strength invites exploitation, and strength without kindness breeds destruction. So you became both the calm and the storm. Now when you walk into a room, people feel that balance. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. The awareness of what it took to get here. Every silent battle, every swallowed pain, every test you passed alone. Oh wow, who would have thought? The one they ignored turned into the one they can't stop watching. But deep inside, you know, the real victory isn't the recognition, it's the peace. The quiet knowing that you did it right. Without betrayal, without corruption, without losing your essence. And there it is, the full circle. The quiet one, the kind one, the one they ignored, finally standing where noise can't reach. Oh wow, you did it. You stayed true when chaos screamed for your attention. You stayed patient when arrogance mocked your peace. And now, every little act they laughed at is paying you back in thunder. You didn't lose, you learned. You didn't break, you built. Every time you walked away from hate, you built a layer of protection around your purpose. Every time you chose kindness over ego, you loaded another blessing into the chamber of destiny. And now, it's firing back. Boom. Right when you need it most. Nah, this isn't coincidence. This is the quiet return of every good thing you planted. This is what happens when you refuse to become bitter in a world that feeds on it. You didn't just survive, you shifted the balance. You reminded the world that power doesn't have to be cruel to be effective. So listen, if this message hit you somewhere deep, if it reminds you that staying kind isn't weakness but strategy, drop a comment below. Let me know you felt this in your chest. Because people like you keep this world from collapsing completely. You're the rare ones, the quiet warriors, the proof that integrity still wins in the end. Oh wow, yeah, your kindness was never wasted. It was watched, it was recorded, and now it's about to reward you beyond what you imagined. Stay strong, stay sharp, stay kind, because this world doesn't need more noise, it needs more of you. Aha, warriors. The air's heavy tonight, like the whole world's holding its breath. They laughed before, remember? Ah, yeah, they said you were doing too much. But look around now, the silence is loud. Everything you warned about, it's happening in front of their eyes. The same people who said you were overthinking are now whispering your name like a storm's coming. Oh, this is what truth looks like when it finally breaks free. You didn't need to shout, reality shouted for you. Every sign you pointed out, every pattern you exposed, every warning you dropped, it's all unfolding just like you said. The whole community's shook. Not because they didn't see it coming, but because you did. Nah, this isn't just a moment, this is your proof. The energy shifted, the masks are cracking, and the silence? Oh, it's screaming now. You stayed real when everyone else played fake. You stayed patient when they mocked your focus. And now look, they're the ones trembling. So drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let the world know you saw it too. Because this one's not just a Joker speech. It's a message for the awake, the aware, and the ones who refused to fold when truth started shaking the room. They laughed when you warned them. Now they whisper your name like a curse. Oh, isn't it poetic? The same crowd that once mocked your caution now trembles at every headline. The same ones who rolled their eyes when you spoke truth now stare at the sky, wondering when the next hit will come. It's strange, really, how silence changes once reality starts echoing your words. You told them the foundation was cracking. You felt the shift under your feet, but they were too busy smiling through the smoke to notice the fire creeping up the walls. You watched it happen. The denial, the pride, the illusion of safety. You tried to tell them that not every laugh is real, not every light is hope, and not every leader knows where they're going. But nah. They wanted comfort over truth. They wanted noise over warning. And now the noise has eaten them alive. Look around. Can you feel it? That uneasy calm, that tension humming through every conversation? The community shook. Every eye searching for answers that were already given to them. Every voice cracking under the weight of realization. It's not just fear, it's recognition. Recognition that maybe, just maybe, the one they called paranoid was actually awake. You warned them that their comfort was borrowed time. You warned them that peace built on lies collapses in silence, not in thunder. And now the silence has arrived, not empty, but heavy. Full of everything they refuse to face. People don't understand that truth doesn't need permission to reveal itself. It waits, patiently, until the mask slips. the system fractures, and every hidden thing spills out into daylight. Oh, the irony. The same voices that silenced yours are now desperate to sound wise. The same hands that pushed you aside now tremble, reaching for guidance. You don't need to say, "I told you so." The world is saying it for you, because truth has no need to scream once the world begins to whisper in panic. But don't gloat. That's the trap. See, this isn't about revenge. It's about confirmation. You weren't seeking credit. You were sounding an alarm. You were watching patterns, reading behavior, connecting dots they refused to see. And when it all snapped, you didn't flinch. You just watched, calm, steady, unshaken. Because deep down, you knew this moment was inevitable. You didn't predict chaos. You just understood cause and effect. Every ignored warning grows teeth eventually. Every dismissed voice becomes the echo that haunts the night. And now, they're surrounded by that echo, every rumor, every consequence, every fallout tracing back to what you said. They see it now. The dominoes are falling, one by one. The moment the wind changed, so did every smile. And just like that, everything you warned them about started to unfold. Slowly at first, like whispers crawling through the cracks of comfort, and then all at once. Oh wow, the silence you once carried like a burden has now become their soundtrack. The storm is no longer a theory. It's here. You can feel it pressing against every door, rattling every illusion they built to protect their pride. They thought your patience meant weakness. They mistook your restraint for surrender. But nah, they never understood that the calm ones are usually the most dangerous, not because they want chaos, but because they see it coming long before it arrives. You were never trying to scare them. You were trying to prepare them. And now, as the walls start to shake, their confidence melts like wax. The masks slip. The voices that once filled the air with noise now hide behind excuses. The storm exposes everything, every lie, every act, every false alliance. Nothing hides forever. It's strange, isn't it? How everyone claims they want truth until it shows up uninvited. They love to talk about strength until they realize strength means standing alone. They speak of loyalty until it costs them comfort. You told them loyalty isn't built on convenience, it's tested by pressure. And now that pressure has arrived, their true colors are bleeding through the surface. Yeah, they're scared. Scared not just of what's happening outside, but of what's waking up inside. Because once fear settles in, it doesn't just make people panic, it makes them confess. It makes them remember every moment they ignored the warning signs. Every time they laughed instead of listened. Every chance they had to change before change became survival. Oh, the irony. They used to call you dramatic, said you were too intense, too serious, too obsessed with truth. But now they copy your words like scripture, repeating your lines as if they were their own. It's almost tragic watching them try to sound wise after ignoring wisdom itself. You can see the guilt in their eyes, the regret written across their silence. But don't mock them. No, because the storm was never about proving you right. It was about revealing what's real. This is the reckoning of comfort, the return of balance. When all the noise fades, only truth remains standing. The ones who built their lives on shortcuts are collapsing under their own weight, while those who stood on principle are suddenly looking unbreakable. You warned them not to chase the easy path. You told them the smooth road hides the deepest cracks. And now those cracks are swallowing everything that was built on lies. It's quiet now, but silence can be louder than screams. When the storm finally passed, everything changed. The noise, the chaos, the panic, gone. What's left behind isn't peace. It's clear. Oh wow, you can finally see who's who. The masks have melted. The voices have softened, and the truth, that quiet, relentless truth, stands in the open like a mirror they can't look away from. The community that once walked with arrogance now stumbles through reflection. It's not the same place anymore. Every smile looks cautious, every handshake uncertain, every promise trembling under its own memory. You stand among them, not to gloat, not to punish, but to witness. You see their faces shift when your presence reminds them of everything they ignored. It's almost painful, isn't it? Watching people realize they built comfort out of denial. They thought warnings were noise, but now they crave the very guidance they rejected. Nah, they never understood that truth doesn't disappear when dismissed. It just waits. And when it returns, it doesn't knock politely, it kicks the door open. They're shaken, because the illusion they called normal has shattered. They're searching for someone steady, someone who doesn't flinch when everything else breaks. And that's when it hits you. The same eyes that once avoided yours now watch you with quiet respect. Not because you wanted power, but because you never traded truth for popularity. You stayed centered, firm, untouched by the tides of false comfort. Oh, the irony. The ones who mocked your discipline now study your composure. The ones who laughed at your patience now chase it desperately. But you don't smile. You don't celebrate their fall. You understand? This was never about winning over people. It was about standing firm against weakness. And that's the lesson the storm came to teach. You can't save everyone, but you can stand so strong that others begin to rebuild by your example. Because real leadership isn't declared, it's revealed. It's not about standing on a stage. It's about standing when everyone else sits down. You didn't rise through applause. You rose through consistency, through silence, through restraint. The very qualities they once mistook for insignificance have now become the blueprint for survival. Yeah, they see it now. The warning wasn't noise, it was mercy. The distance you kept wasn't arrogance, it was wisdom. And every time you chose principle over popularity, you wrote the kind of legacy that storms cannot erase. That's why they look at you differently now. Because when everything fell apart, you didn't. Now the question lingers like smoke in the air, not from them, but from within you. You've seen what happens when truth is ignored, when patience is mocked, when warnings go unheeded. You've seen collapse, and you've seen endurance. Everyone wants the crown until they feel how heavy it is. The dust has cleared, the noise has died, and now the real test begins. When everything is broken and the crowd looks around for direction, they turn to whoever didn't flinch when the world cracked. Oh wow, that's you. Not because you demanded it, but because endurance made you the last one standing. But here's the thing nobody tells you. Standing tall isn't glory. It's responsibility. It's the moment you realize leadership isn't power, it's burden. They'll call you strong, but they'll never see the nights you spent holding your ground when silence felt louder than chaos. They'll follow you now, but they'll never understand how much you sacrificed to stay steady when panic made others run. Nah, they only see the surface. They see the calm, not the cost. The truth? Real leadership doesn't come from being fearless. It comes from being willing to act despite fear. You didn't escape the storm untouched. You just refused to let it change your direction. You can feel the shift in the air, the way people move differently now, the way they measure their words before they speak to you. There's a strange kind of respect in their tone, mixed with guilt and awe. They finally see what you saw all along. But don't let that admiration blind you. Oh, the irony. Respect is easy to give when fear lingers in the room. The real test comes when comfort returns, when they forget what chaos taught them. That's when the cycle tries to repeat. Your role now isn't to remind them of their mistakes, it's to guide them beyond them, to rebuild something solid, not based on fear, but on clarity. That's the quiet task of every survivor who becomes a leader. Turn warning into wisdom. Because it's not enough to have seen the truth. You must now shape it into something that lasts. Every action, every word, every boundary will echo beyond this moment. They'll study how you move when no one's clapping, how you decide when no one's watching. Yeah, this is where the character either grows or collapses. You can't lead with bitterness. You can't lead through pride. You lead by showing that discipline can outlive disaster, that restraint can be power, that calm can command storms. The same patience that made them laugh before will now become the compass that keeps them steady. You're no longer warning them, you're shaping them, and that's a different kind of battle altogether. Because leadership isn't about being followed. It's about being remembered for what you refuse to compromise. The storm tested your strength, but this tests your integrity. The calm after the storm isn't peace. It's a temptation to wear a smile. You'd think once the dust settled, everything would finally make sense. But oh wow. Peace can be just as dangerous as chaos, maybe even more, because chaos sharpens you, keeps you alert. But peace whispers, you've done enough. It tempts you to lower your guard, to forget the lessons that pain carved into your mind, to sink back into comfort, disguised as recovery. That's the trick most never see coming. When everything feels safe again, that's when the real decay begins. You look around and see it happening already. People smiling again, pretending the storm was just a bad dream. Their words soft again, their promises loud again, their lessons fading faster than smoke in the wind. Nah, they didn't change. They just paused. The fear wore off, and now they crave the same distractions that blinded them before. And this is where your discipline is tested the most, because standing tall in chaos is one thing, but staying true when the world relaxes, that's a different kind of strength. You walk through streets that once echoed with panic, now filled with laughter. But it's a fragile kind of laughter, hollow, almost desperate. They call it healing, but you can sense it's just escape. The same minds that once trembled at truth are rebuilding their illusions, brick by brick. Oh, the irony. The same warnings they swore they'd never forget are now treated like stories from another life. And you stand there, realizing something harsh. Memory fades faster than fear. But you can't join them. Not anymore. You've seen too much. You've understood too deeply. You've learned that comfort is the enemy of awareness, that when everything seems easy, that's when the test begins again. Because peace isn't the end of struggle, it's the continuation in disguise. Every smile, every opportunity, every praise now becomes a trial of intention. Will you stay centered, or will you soften into what you once warned against? Yeah, it's lonely up here. The quiet of clarity often is, but it's also powerful. Because when everyone else starts slipping back into denial, you remain awake. Calm doesn't mean blind. Peace doesn't mean trust. You move with purpose now. Not from fear, but from understanding. You know that balance isn't about avoiding storms. It's about not letting peace make you forget why you survived them. This is where your true evolution happens. Not in the noise, not in the panic, but in the silence afterward. That's where character either strengthens or dissolves. And you didn't come this far just to blend back into the comfort that broke them. Oh, wow. They'll call you distant now. They'll say you've changed. Maybe you have, but that's the price of awareness. Once you see clearly, you can never unsee. Because peace may tempt you to sleep, but the wise never stop watching the sky. So here we are, exactly where you said we'd be. The truth's out, the masks are off, and the noise, louder than ever. But you're calm, because you knew this moment was coming. Stay sharp, stay fearless, and hey, drop your thoughts below. I read every word.